On November 24, 1971, the day before Thanksgiving, Portland International Airport was filled with travelers. In the midst of the crowd, a man called D.B.Cooper entered the terminal with quiet steps. He walked at an even pace, looking relaxed, as he made his way through the hurried passengers. Cooper approached the ticket counter and politely smiled.
Good evening, sir. Where would you like to go?
One ticket to Seattle, please. Northwest Orient Flight 305.
May I know your good name, sir?
I am D.B.Cooper.
The clerk passes D.B.Cooper his flight ticket for the destination he requested. The clerk asks for $20, and Cooper pulls out his wallet to hand over the cash. Cooper walks up to the boarding gate, prepared to board the flight. At the airplane door, a flight attendant greets passengers while checking their boarding passes. D.B.Cooper presents his ticket to her. D.B.Cooper settles into seat 18C, quietly gazing out at the fading evening light. Northwest Orient Airlines flight rises into the night, its wings slicing through the dark sky. A flight attendant rolls the drinks cart along the narrow aisle, while Cooper sits calmly in his seat. D.B.Cooper orders a bourbon and soda, and the flight attendant pours it into a glass, just as he requested. Cooper quietly writes on a folded note, slips it into a tidy envelope, and hands it to the flight attendant with a subtle smile. Leaning in with an unnervingly calm tone, Cooper murmurs, "Miss, you'd better read that note." The attendant glances at the message. "I have a bomb in my briefcase. Sit next to me." The flight attendant sits rigidly, her posture tense and her eyes flicking about nervously. Cooper slowly opens his briefcase, showing the bomb inside. He tilts it so she can see, then calmly closes it again. Cooper's voice cut through the cabin's murmur. "Listen, I want $200,000 in cash and parachutes in Seattle. Tell the captain." Inside the cockpit, the captain and crew lean in, their faces tense as they listen to Cooper's demands. At ground control, phones buzz constantly, and officers hurry to take notes, the atmosphere growing tense and chaotic. FBI agents collect bundles of cash and parachutes, getting ready for the uncertain ahead. Passengers sit absorbed in their own thoughts, unaware of the events unfolding around them. In sharp contrast, Cooper sits at ease, casually sipping his drink. The plane lands at Seattle Airport, rain making the city lights look blurry. Inside, people remain calm, with no idea of the situation. Cooper, steady and calm, tells the crew, "Keep the passengers quiet. Release them once my demands are met." As the rain pours down, men in raincoats bring the requested cash and parachutes. After getting the ransom money and parachutes, Cooper signaled the crew to let the passengers go. One by one, they left the plane, unaware of the danger. Only the pilots and flight attendants remain on board. D.B.Cooper instructed the pilots to fly at a low altitude, around 10,000 feet, and a slow speed, under 230 miles per hour, toward Mexico City. He carefully straps a parachute over his dark suit and fastens the money bag tightly to another parachute cord. He then walks slowly down the aisle toward the rear staircase, while the crew stands frozen behind him. The rear staircase of the 727 drops mid-flight, rain rushing into the cabin. Cooper stands at the edge, parachute on his back and money bag secured. D.B.Cooper jumps from the plane into the stormy night. Far below, his parachute opens, carrying him into the lightning-lit darkness as the aircraft disappears into the distance. The 727 lands safely back at Seattle, emergency lights flashing on the runway. FBI agents and police swarm the tarmac with dogs and flashlights running towards the flight. FBI agents search the plane, but it is empty, with no clues left behind. Search parties and helicopters sweep through the dark, rainy forests in pursuit of D.B.Cooper. D.B.Cooper vanished without a trace. The mystery remains unsolved.